Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast. The world in 2022 is full of darkness and despair. So at MHG, we want to bring you a little bit of light and a little bit of joy. Once again, I'm Bradley and I'm joined by Stu. How you doing, Stu?
I'm pretty good, yeah. Not had a bad week at all, and looking forward to the long weekend thing coming up. Even though, obviously, I'm a Republican and none of the Jubilee stuff means anything to me.
See, right, we've got to explain to American listeners, being a Republican in the UK is not the same as being a Republican in the US.
No. No, it's not a political party. I mean, I want a republic rather than having a monarchy.
Yeah, you want to abolish the monarchy, you don't want to abolish the gays.
Yeah, basically, yes.
We're having an abolish the monarchy barbecue. We're just having a barbecue with a cheap like 99p disposable barbecue, probably out the back, and yeah, just keep it in theme really.
You're gonna burn a tiny effigy of the Queen on it.
Not even that. It's not even worth it.
Fair enough.
That's how little I care about the monarchy. Get rid of the pedos and the racists.
Yeah, that'd be a good start.
Apart from Harry. Harry's alright. He's still a dick, but he's alright because he tried to get out.
True. He's halfway out.
Yeah. So he's a bit of a dick, not a complete dick. I don't think he listens to us.
Probably not.
Do you know who else doesn't listen to us, Stu?
Who is that?
Video games. No, that's just not a good one at all, is it, this week?
No, but...
I mean, they don't. Technically, they don't listen to us because they're inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Sort of, unless they're in the digital realm. Stu, save me. What have you been playing?
Yeah, I'll stick the Segway bumper in there because that was a classic. But I've been playing Pac-Man Museum Plus. I think that's what it's called, on Game Pass. And, by gum. So, obviously, when you're picking up and playing old emulated games like this from the early 80s, there's nothing more to be done with the game itself. You're just presenting the games.
Yeah.
So you've just got to make sure that, presentation is quite important. So it's a nice sort of package to mess around with.
Yeah.
But most importantly, it's like the emulation is getting it right, It's just getting it right. And this gets it wrong in just about all the important ways. So not only is it kind of... They run in small windows on your screen. You've got very few resize options. There's no rotation. You can't rotate them to fill the angle of the screen better. They run in small windows. They run at fairly low resolutions. And worse than that, they've got really, really bad input lag. Now, I played it on the Steam Deck using streaming, obviously, so that's not an ideal situation. But I understand loads of people are having this problem as well, and it's just... for me, it was a full second on some games. Like on Pac-Mania, it was a full second between pressing the jump button and actually jumping. And I think people have at least half a second delay. And yeah, similar with Pac-Land as well. And turning corners in Pac-Man, you just miss them. Oh, it's rough. It's rough.
So here's the issue I have with these re-releases, these packages and everything. Taking out the legality of ROMs out of the equation, essentially for free, you could get a version of Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, whatever, all those original arcade games, running on a Raspberry Pi, a low-end Raspberry Pi, right, let alone a full-blown computer, with shaders and bevels and everything that make it look like you're actually playing it through an original arcade machine. Yet, the companies that own the IP can't get it right despite being shown how to do it. That always boggles my mind. Just do what the people who have made all the shaders and everything have done. And there you go. You sorted.
Yeah, it's just a lazy cash grab, terrible. Just the sheer, the laziness. Oh man, disgraceful. But yeah.
But they could have been lazier and got it right by stealing people's work who had done it with the shaders and everything and then redoing it. They could have been that little bit lazier and got it much better.
I know.
So that's going... I don't even know what that is. When you put in some effort and got it that badly wrong, that's even worse.
Yeah, I know it was minimal effort, but it was effort nonetheless. And yeah, I mean, it's such a shame because there's some great games in there, and hopefully they can patch this out. But it'll take some work, I think, because I get the impression that they've, it is just such a low effort that they'll have to not go back to the drawing board, but actually put some work in and do some proper work and put some effort into it. So it might take a while.
Well, I think I'm done with re-releases now. This sort of comes in because of the Steam Deck in a way, because I've now got access handheld to so many games from the 360 era, and with a bit of jiggery pokery, emulated stuff and everything. I don't need re-releases or remasters anymore, especially if I played it on the Steam Deck, because I was clamouring for a remaster of Vanquish at some point. Now, I know if someone remastered or redone Vanquish now, they'd put too much into it and it'd run like a dog on a Steam Deck, whereas I could play the original version of it and it runs perfectly. So I think I'm at that point now where I want to play older games and games I remember enjoying and stuff like that, and I just can. I don't need to wait to play it outside of a PC, so to speak, because the Steam Deck's taken it to something else. And yeah, it's these museum collections, I don't get the point of anymore, especially as, if I'm right, is this version missing the best Pac-Man?
What do you think is the best Pac-Man?
Championship Edition EX Plus.
I think so.
EX Plus, rather.
I think it's missing it, yeah.
It's got Championship Edition 2, I owe that much, because they include that on everyone, and that's crap. But yeah, it's my favourite, and I can play that. I've been playing that the last couple of weeks on and off.
Yeah, it's got Championship Edition, but
it has. What, the original
one? Yeah.
But not the DX Plus. See, no. That made a difference. Championship Edition, I was able to play that when that came out, and you even got a minis version of it, so you could play it on the PSP as well,
that's great.
Which was fine, absolutely fine. Why, if you own the IP, can they not go, look, here's Championship Edition, you can choose to play the original, DX Plus, and all the various iterations of it. We let you choose, because that's what I expect in a rights owner's museum collection.
Well, because of money, because they always withhold at least 50%, 60% of their stuff, so that they can go 2 years down the line, here's another collection. It's got some of the stuff on the previous one, but all those gaps that were missed, or some of the gaps that were missed. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I just don't bother. It's one of the reasons why the PC became my main platform of choice about 10 years ago. That was one of the main reasons. It was like, if it's available, I'll buy it, then it's there forever. Even if it's not there forever, I can get it on the PC, because it'll be out there somewhere, and it will be playable on the PC because people will have put the effort in to make it work. And anything that's not, I think, just to talk about people who want to buy these packages, it's mainly because they don't. It's more aimed at the quote unquote casual market. I think it's aimed at people who haven't played these things for 20, 30, 40 years. And they're like, oh, this is the first I've seen of it on my machine. And it's their first proper gaming machine, and it's just, we're not the target market. But even then, people shouldn't be paying for this. They should be, they should be looking at alternatives.
Oh, yeah, 100%, because for the price you're probably paying for this, outside, because again, if you're going on that casual market, the people who have Game Pass Ultimate and are really caring about that, are the casual market for Pac-Man. The casual market for Pac-Man, he said, is the people who look at it and go, oh, well, yeah. And those who buy probably the crappy, plug and play joysticks that you get with the games built in. Yeah. And yes, they probably don't overly care. But at the same time, I would be more willing to go, look, I tell you what, how much you pay for that? 40 quid? I could get you a Raspberry Pi with Pac-Man, a load of other stuff on there, a basic controller, and a really nice front end and everything. So you just have to plug it in and play it for the same price with thousands of other games. And that's, to me, that's what, if you're making a museum collection, that's what you've got to be going, right, that's what we're up against. This museum, we want people to play it, we want people to remember the classics. What's a fair price? Tenner?
Yeah.
Because that's what someone might spend in an arcade on a day, on one game possibly. And to me, that's about the right sort of price. I'd rather go and play it in an arcade than sit there on my lonesome playing it at home unless there's something else.
Yeah.
Or it's just something I want to pop on, and I'm not paying 40 quid, or whatever it is, to pop on Pac-Man now and again.
Yeah, no, fair.
I love Pac-Man.
You're right. But the overall thing as well is, no matter how much you think it should be one way or the other, it's broken as well. So I'd avoid, basically.
That seems to be the thing, isn't it? Grand Theft Auto was broken, you know, many other retro remakes are broken. I remember when Ubisoft managed to break Tetris and make it that Tetris had lag. I mean, how? How can you not get Tetris to work?
I know.
It's, ridiculous. And I'm glad they don't have that license anymore. I'm really glad.
Yeah. So go on then. What have you been playing?
So first up, very quick one for me, is, and I've got to get this right because I keep pronouncing it wrong when I've been talking about it. It's called Cantata. Not Katana, as I keep saying. And it's an early access game, and I'm not gonna lie, I've only put like about an hour into it because I kind of want to come back to it when it's ready. Basically, what you've got is a tactics-based strategy sandboxy type game. Where you've got to do the exploring, the expanding, and etc. I wouldn't call it a 4X game. I would say it's maybe 3X's. It's not quite there because I found it really accessible. It's got really cool pixel graphics. It looks fairly retro and stylized with it. And they're really big on the idea like you can mod the game and everything, but you take on like one of the main factions within the game, and then you basically fight against the other factions. You build up your base, you expand your areas, you enter into sort of like tactics battles. The whole thing, your base is got building, your army's building. You have to go off and explore, and the way you're exploring, you're finding like resources, etc. And it's really good because in a way you have to really do some like proper recon work to understand best attack points or the best way to expand out without leaving yourself open. And when I was coming across it, I thought, this is really in depth, I'm going to get really, really lost. But what it does is it slows it to a pace that it doesn't get boring or you spend too much time thinking, but not that you get overwhelmed easily. I don't know if that will change as you go further into the game, but I've just really sort of like got on with it really, really well. I don't know if it's the pixel graphics, I don't know if it's like the pace it runs at, or the fact it's taken out one of the X's. I don't know, but I just something about it that I really, really like. I can't explain too much about it because, I don't get it because I don't get these games. But for an early access game, and I don't know when it's meant to be coming out, I've become quite enamoured with it in my hour or so that I've played. And I said, I can't wait to play a full release of this one. So I don't know when it's due, but it's definitely one to keep an eye out on.
Sounds quite good. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Again, not really my kind of thing, but even so, it sounds intriguing. It looks quite pretty. So
yeah. So the best. I don't know. So it's part Advance Wars, I would say. To say that, so part Advance Wars, but also part. What's that like 2D Infinity Factory game that done the rounds?
You're asking the wrong person.
Factorio. It's like part Advance was. Well, Advance was part Factorio, but taking elements of both to build its own thing. But honestly, yeah, if you're into these sort of games, it's good. It's good, and especially at the stage it's in. It's nowhere near complete, but I enjoy my hour, so I'm gonna go back to it when it's out properly. Yeah, really good.
Cool. So what's next on the list?
Next up for me is V Rising.
Oh, yeah.
Seems to be the darling at the moment, doesn't it, V Rising?
It does seem to be, yeah.
Sounds like we're about to go all in on it now, doesn't it? I can see why. Unfortunately, I can't play it on the Steam Deck. Oh, by the way, Cantata on the Steam Deck, sorry, just do a bit of housekeeping. Runs, but it's not designed for the Steam Deck. But it's early access, so there's not too much though. So don't buy it specifically if you're looking for a Steam Deck strategy game yet. Works better on the big screen. So there's that. But V Rising. Can't play it on the Steam Deck 'cause it's unsupported, but you can now using Proton Experimental Bleeding Edge. But it's a buggy mess on the Steam Deck at the moment, which I believe it's still an early access game itself anyway. And I don't think it was brought out to work on the Steam Deck, so to speak. But essentially what you've got there here is some kind of shared universe, vampire, survival, crafting, stroke, Diablo-esque-ish game, where you're in this like living, breathing open world. You've got your tasks that you've got to do. You need to survive, and it's sort of roguelike, but it's not roguelike at all because you die a lot, but it sort of doesn't matter, but it does. I don't really know what's going on in it. All I know is playing it again on the big screen because it's just small text on the Steam Deck and it's very difficult to play. But playing it on the big screen, I'm going through this game with very little clue what's going on. I'm just having a whale of a time. Whatever its gameplay loop that it's got, it gets its hooks in. I really don't know why. Because I can't pinpoint what it is. I've played a good, maybe 3-4 hours of it so far, on and off. And I honestly cannot pinpoint what I like about it. I just really, really, really like it.
So what do you do moment to moment? What kind of a game is it, kind of thing?
So, you kind of... Because you're a vampire, you can't really go out in the day, so you have to bypass the day. Then you go out at night hunting and stuff like that. And then you kind of got... gather resources to build your castle. You go things, you craft things, you kind of do that sort of stuff like the crafting and building during the day. And then you sort of you go through, you're building up your vampire that you've created. And you go on raids and you go on battles and you fight. I say it's slightly Diablo-esque in terms of the way you do the battling. But yeah, it's kind of weird. I can't say it's a play. It's got so many different elements, but blends together really well. So it's I would say the main thing is you're going out and you're gathering resources and getting loot to build something. But I find I really enjoy the hunting side of it, and I'm not too fussed about the building, but I see why it's a necessity and it's not boring at the same time. So it's just this weird mix of things that just comes together really, really well. And as you level up, it's again, I suppose, like Diablo, as you level up, you just get the back, what you're doing just becomes more spectacular. So you get bigger, better attacks, and there's more flashes and animations and neon lights and whatever going everywhere. It's a dark game though. It's really dark. In terms of visuals, vampires, of course, it's slightly dark in terms of
tone.
In terms of tone, yeah. Anyway, but it's kind of also it's a mixture of cooperative and competitive online, but there's now an offline mode, so you can play it. You had to play it online even if you played on your own, but now you can play it offline, and it's kind of works just like having people in your world at the same time. But I've turned all that off because again I I struggle to play through games at a pace that everyone else wants to play through them, so I turn it off. And it's just it's just really good. I keep saying it's compared to Diablo, but it's much more than Diablo. It makes Diablo look like Pee Wee Herman made a game, whereas this was made by, I don't know, Professor Brian Cox or something.
Cool.
So yeah, that's V-Rise. I said it's not great on the Steam Deck at the moment, but I'll revisit it when it's had another big update on the Steam Deck and see if the community getting working or whether it's just like it gets support, and I'll report back on that. So finally this week I've been playing a Wildcat Gun Machine.
Ooh.
Which is where the other two games are fairly medium paced, slow paced, Stephen. This is hectic. It's a twin stick shooter. I do like a twin stick shooter. I'm not very good at them. But it's a bullet hell twin stick shooter. I can't remember if it's roguelite or not. I don't think it's rogue in nature, but don't hold me to that. But basically, it's a bullet hell dungeon crawler, and you take on just basically loads and loads of enemies of various different designs, which are quite cool, like little fleshy and demony, and there's like mechs in there as well. Nice. And kittens, because why not why not kittens? But yeah, it's kind of that Hades look in terms of the angle of the game and stuff like that. It's really fast paced. You clear out a room, go to another room, clear out that room, etc, etc. Get your various upgrades and buffs and everything. You get better weapons. There's like tons of different gun types. I don't think I've used them all yet. There's big boss battles that go on with it as well. And you kind of get the, like, again, this is something I really like the Dead Cell style choose an upgrade on the fly kind of thing, what one suits you, so you can kind of get your builds up to how you want them. There's some puzzle-ish elements into it, but not like puzzle elements. It's really weird. Like it's almost like each battle, like major battles, like a puzzle of combat that you need to work out, which is really good. And if I remember correctly, I don't think it's like randomly generated levels.
Right.
The order might be, but I think the rooms on the whole that you go through are all like static in terms of what they're designed like. I might be wrong, but that's how I remember it going. I remember playing it going, this feels familiar every time I was going through early stages of it. This feels familiar. It feels like I've been here before. And I know what I'm doing with it, rather than, this feels like it's like, this is this sort of room. It feels like it was that room. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but don't hold me to that, though. Please don't hold me to that. I might be wrong, and that could be my ADHD brain coming through, not quite getting it right. But yeah, it's big dumb fun, really, is all I can really say about it. It looks lovely. It kind of looks like, almost in a way, I would say a Saturday morning cartoon visually, but for like they pixelated a bit and given a retro feel. It's kind of got that animation to it, so it's almost like seeing the Thundercats battling or something like that. But yeah, it's really fun. I've seen sort of like, again, some people have like not been too enamoured with it, but I don't know what they're expecting. It's like, when I try to look at, maybe I've played this and maybe I've it's just me who likes it, I've gone back into it and gone, it's fun. I don't know what people are expecting from it, why it's getting such a mixed reaction. I don't know. I don't know. It's because it isn't roguelike, maybe because it is like a crafted experience. I really don't know, because it's got all the original appearance that it should be a roguelike, but honestly I don't think it's a roguelike. I feel like I excuse me, I feel like I should know more, But yeah, all I can say is I'm really, really having a good fun time with it. But yeah, it's really good. Works on the Steam Deck. I've played it exclusively on the Steam Deck. It's not officially supported, I don't think. Well, it wasn't the last time I played it. It had the little question mark, but I turned it on. I installed it, turned it on. It ran. I don't know if it's using a compatibility layer or not. No clue. It just ran. It ran well. No changes needed. Controls worked fine. Everything.
Nice.
But yeah, that's it for games, really, that I've been playing for the show. Have you got anything you've been playing for fun, Stu?
What are you playing?
Yeah. I've been playing loads of that Wonder Labyrinth, D-Lit in Wonder Labyrinth.
Yes.
Castlevania Symphony of the Night type game. It's just great. I'm really, really impressed with it. It's not difficult, although you do die now and again. But, it's not frustrating. I find with these kind of games, with them being exploration and you're getting cool weapons and bolt-ons, I prefer them to be a bit easier because the fun is not so much in the combat, it's in the exploration. So dialing that difficulty down is a good thing for me, and then kind of having tough bosses is fine, because then you can you're in a room, you can take a breath, you can put together everything that you've learned, sort of thing. So yeah, for me it's really good. There's a while back, which is still fairly early in the game, you fight a big dragon boss. I was really impressed with that. Made you switch between your abilities, the elements, the spirit and the fire element that you have. Sprites, they're called. A lot, it's like a Karuga in that. So if you've got the matching thing, you can't be hit by something, but you can't hit back, kind of thing. So you have to judge. So yeah, no, it's just really, really good fun. I would highly recommend that game.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I had a little last week. I had a little gander at it, and it's on my wish list now. I'm very tempted by it, but I've got so much to get through and play. It's with the Steam Deck adding something new every day to the playable list. I'm like, oh yeah, I've not played that in ages. I'm going to install that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's on my wish list, and I'll pick that up down the line. It'll be one of those. I think if I see it drop below such a small price, I'll just get it and let it sit there until I'm ready.
Yeah. It's so hard. But I've got the terrible problem of having too many good games to play, which is a lovely thing to have, but it is really, even with the Steam Deck, where I'm playing like every night for at least a couple of hours, I still can't get through stuff fast enough for my own liking.
I don't know how some people do it.
I know, right?
It's like when you see like people at Giant Bomb and like IGN and stuff like that, and they're playing like 40 to 100 hour epics and managing to get a review out on time, and then do another one a week. Like how?
Yeah, it's mental. I'm trying to fit in. Carrying on with Viewpoint on the Neo Geo to try and do that one credit completion, but it's just I can't just stop playing everything else to play a 130-year-old game over and over.
Well, you can.
I could.
You won't have much to talk about, like, but
a bit dull on the show.
Yeah, no, well, it wouldn't. Your enthusiasm is worth listening to.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, now come to bed, sweetheart. No, what? Sorry, I forgot we was recording.
Sexual discrimination in the workplace. It's harassment.
Hey, I don't discriminate.
Well, it's harassment. That's the better term.
You love it. No, wait, no, that's what they say. No, just cut that. Yeah, use that in a court of law. There you go. If you ever want to bring a workplace harassment to me. I don't pay you. I slave labour. Bugger. No, stop. Put the shovel down, Brad.
You really
Put the shovel down.
Digging yourself in.
Yeah. So I, sort of for fun, just got amazed again by like the Steam Deck and what I could do with it. So of course I've been playing Mixolumia, I've been playing a bit of Pac-Man Championship Edition DX Plus, played a bit of Space Invaders, and then I've won a game key for God of War. in a competition. So it was like, sweet. I've been wanting to try that, but I don't want to pay like 30 quid, 40 quid for it. So, yeah, okay, I'll take that. Not played it yet, but it's just, I kind of installed it, booted it up and went, yeah, that works. And they kind of had that, Jesus Christ, I'm playing the latest God of War handheld.
Crazy.
That's after playing Pac-Man handheld and Mixolumia handheld.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. But then I booted up another game I've not played for a while, because again, it's, I played it on the PS4 and I've got it on the Switch. It was really, I think I worked out how much I was forgiving the Switch for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I just kind of, it was like, oh my god, this works on the Switch, was just amazing. But I've been playing SnowRunner.
Oh yeah.
Which is 30, I don't know, the sequel to Spin Tires Mud Runner or Mud Runner Spin Tires game, whatever they renamed it to. But played SnowRunner, and it's night and day difference on the Steam Deck compared to the Switch. Even like on the Steam Deck, I think it defaults to medium settings. But you know, you kind of look at the Switch version next to it and you go, oh yeah, bloody hell. And it still runs like crap on the Switch as well. Oh, okay, yeah. In isolation, the Switch version is fine, but oh yeah, I can see why somebody like the Digital Foundry types can really sort of like pull things apart. But yeah, played SnowRunner. It's such a weird game, SnowRunner, because it's bastard hard, but so relaxing at the same time. You know, I popped it back on. And I was like doing a mission, and I went down the road, managed to get my truck stuck on a rock. I couldn't move it, and had to go and get another one to go and help move it. And then I accidentally reset my mission, so I had to go and redo up my mission. Instead of getting frustrated, I was like, well, let's go trucking.
Yeah.
And doing it all, and it's like none of the game is designed to be relaxing. It's designed to be like, I suppose, like Dark Souls of trucking, I suppose is the best way to put it. But it's relaxing. It's so relaxing at the same time, especially as you can either, like, when you've got to load up cargo, you can either just press a button and load it, or you can like do it yourself. So like you have to run a crane and pick up the items and put it on your truck, and etc. etc. I don't bother with that. I can't be bothered, so I just load it up. But it doesn't feel like it punishes me for it at the same time. And I'm really like these sort of games, that Euro Truck Simulator, Train Simulator, etc. etc. are all teaching me now of, look, Brad, you haven't got to make the game difficult to enjoy it. If you want to make it as easy as possible, just go ahead.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I just really sort of like enjoyed it. And the slow pace of it as well means you can just take your time. And it saves regularly, which is brilliant. And obviously the built-in cloud saves means I can play a non-compromised version on my desktop if I want. Because I don't have to do it by plugging in my Steam Deck and playing it on a big screen. I can just go, when it's uploaded to my cloud save instantly, let's now boot it up on the PC on the big screen using my 2060 graphics card, etc. etc. and put it in ultra settings. Because yeah, that's I'm sorry, this is now going to be, surely this is how the future of video gaming has got to be.
Well, you'd think
that
so.
You can play the same game in different ways, just using the one copy of it.
Yeah, well, you can't help but think that that's what the whole Switch thing should, well, all kind of is about, but definitely should be about, is just democratising how you play the game that you've bought. You know, you've paid for it. Should be able to play it on pretty much anything that, you know, anything that you like, it should be supported. So, yeah, going down that way.
If Nintendo was to go, look, we're going to bring out Switch 2 or whatever we decide to call it. Who switch you, your mother to your daddy, is what they should call it.
That's what the kids calling it, yeah.
I say. Bring out the Switch 2, but create an ecosystem of a PC version. So it's your own, you control it all, it's all on there, but you can boot up Super Mario Sunshine 2 or whatever they release on your Switch, and it's a nerfed version in terms of lower rate graphics, etc, etc. But you can play a fully functioning, whatever bells and whistles version on the PC. Because what you can then do is, down the line with the Switch 2, is you can go, look, we're going to release a game that's going to work wonderfully well on the PC, on our PC software or our PC ecosystem, and you could play it the nerfed version directly on the Switch. That's got lower rate graphics. You'll have to put up with some frame rate issues, etc., etc. Maybe even some features taken out, or you could stream it to the Switch from your PC, because we know that technology is possible and it runs really well. Steam approved that. But you could get the bells and whistles version on the PC. So instead of going, and Xbox could do this as well. I half see Microsoft getting some kind of deal with the Steam Deck in place soon.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We do want it, Edith. Edith's off. But this is what's got to happen moving forward. Give people the options.
Yes, no, absolutely, yeah. And you feel like it's coming, you know, you feel like it's going to happen. It's the kind of, streaming solution, hybrid type situation that we were talking about last week. It's, it's coming and they're going to have to embrace it.
Yeah, I mean, because everyone started saying, like, the idea of streaming music and Netflix was, but people want the actual stuff. They want it all. They don't want to stream their music. They don't want to stream their movies. They want to own... No, they don't. As we see, people actually don't care. It's only a very small subsection of us that care. I bless those people who do care. I'm not saying they're wrong for caring, but most of us don't care. I want to play my stuff. I want to watch my stuff or listen to my stuff wherever I am.
Yeah.
In the easiest way possible.
Yeah, totally. Well, absolutely. As I say, I think it's going that way, and I think, there's been reports that Nintendo is struggling with their next gen, and obviously that won't be technically or technologically. It'll be to do with how they position it in the market. And I think, really they've just got to double down on the Switch. That the best and biggest console for them of all time, I think, is still the Game Boy, or the DS, I think.
Yeah.
They should stick with the handheld, and they should just make it available to play on other stuff. So expanding the idea of what the Switch can do by doing it in software and over the network as much as doing it physically.
Yeah, I could potentially see a future, because there's two companies that seem open to this idea, and even Sony are beginning to get to it, where I can see Valve, Microsoft, Nintendo working together on something.
Maybe.
I don't think we're not talking about something in the next 3-4 years. I still think a decade, 15 years down the line, we will see some kind of ecosystem where those three specifically, maybe even Sony, all work together to give the consumers the ability to play what they want when they want, because I think they're about to face a backlash in terms of what people, like what corporations are seen as well, and they need to get ahead of the game.
Maybe. I don't know. Just with the way that the streaming market is diverged and split, everybody wants their own piece of the pie. They don't seem to want to cooperate, even though that would maybe even make them more money. It seems to be more about hoarding your IP. But I don't know, it could happen. It could happen on the infrastructure level, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. I think this is why the Steam Deck's such a game changer.
Yeah.
I know it's only a small number of people that have got them and will probably have them compared to Switches, PlayStations, Xboxes. But if the people in charge at the other three major companies aren't taking note, whoever's not taking note is going to be in big trouble in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Yep.
So just to move on, to finish off really, it's Jubilee weekend in the country of the UK, and we said about what we're doing. It's really weird how many people really are into this. I had to go get my foot looked at today, and I had to go through town, and there was flags everywhere. There was some person dressed up as the Queen, pretending to sort of like wave to people and hello. It's like, I just walked past and went, abolish the monarchy, because I'm a miserable bugger at the same time. And it's like, it's just weird the way we still celebrate them. It's so odd. And then we've got Keir Starmer, which this is what really got me today. Keir Starmer telling us all to let our hair down and celebrate the Queen. It's like, what?
Oh, come on.
No one's got any money. We can't afford to let our hair down and celebrate the Queen with parties and spending however many hundreds on whatever. Behave.
It's just gaslighting you the entire time. It's like, oh, life is really difficult, but the monarchy make it slightly brighter. It's like, no, the monarchy are one of the reasons why things are so bad. You know, they hoard the land, they hoard the wealth, they control all of the aristocracy, the lords, you know, help assemble parliament. They don't stand in their way. You know, they're part of the institution. They're part of the problem, and one of the major parts of the problem. And it's an insult to pretend otherwise.
Oh, yeah. And I said, their wealth and their properties and everything, they could solve homelessness in the UK.
Exactly.
You know, it might be a little bit cramped for some, but there's enough bloody rooms in Buckingham Palace to probably put a huge chunk into the homelessness in London.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's I just find it hilarious. So yeah, my little passive aggressiveness. Because Edith said I took her to McDonald's after my foot appointment today, and she went, I wonder if I'll get a Jubilee Happy Meal. And I went, no, we're going to get you the Abolish the Monarchy Happy Meal. And I got a couple of tuts. A couple of people tutting at me.
Really?
Yeah. Because, to be fair, they was old. They was like, they're definitely in their 60s, 70s.
Oh, well.
So, you know, they probably love the Queen.
Yeah, they'll be dead soon as well, so that's the main thing.
Yeah. And they're not being felt up by Andrew.
No, they're not. No, well outside of his target range.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine if he was like actually the first in line? It all came out after he became king or something. What would be the process for that?
Well,
the king's a kiddie fiddler. What happens?
They can basically get away with anything anyway. So
well, they can anyway, but
yeah, there are no consequences anymore. So
no, there's not, is there?
No.
Cancel culture. Yeah, for who?
Yep.
But yeah, no. Aside from that, I did just one final little tidbit from me. Sorry, I'm in a good place at the moment, and it feels so weird.
Well, that's good in a way. It's not good that you feel weird, but it's good that you're in a good place.
Yeah, but I'm sitting there. I sat there the other night, and I went, things are going well.
Yeah.
How can I sabotage it?
Please don't.
No, I'm trying. No, I won't. But it's that part of me going, not how can I sabotage it? It's like, wonder what I'll do to sabotage it.
Well,
I wonder.
Yeah.
But I've been also, because the reason it comes as well is I've been looking back at my life through a more neurodivergent lens.
Yeah.
And you sort of like get major points in your life, or even the minor points that sort of like sat with you. You just go, oh, okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah, recontextualise them.
Yeah, and it's just like little things. Like I remember having an argument with someone when I worked in a video shop. They done something, or they bought something, and I didn't agree. I was like, that was a waste of money. And they went, oh, I wanted it. And I called them a mug. Like, I went, you mug. Right? And as far as I was concerned at the time, it was just like tongue-in-cheek. It didn't really matter. But then I'm looking at it going, actually, my tone sometimes, and how fast I talk, and how abrasive I could be, or how quick I jump in, I can see how that can come across as something different to someone else, and how me having no filter stops me taking a moment to think about what I say at times.
Yeah.
And sort of going, oh, that makes sense. And that's why that person got angry with me. But I let that sort of like fester in me for about years afterwards. That what had I done wrong? I didn't know what I'd possibly done wrong. Or it must be them. No, it must be me. I must be some kind of scum. And realising, actually, no, it's because I lack a filter. And if I'd have known that when I was that age, and people knew that about me, then when I do have moments where I just blurt something out, it wouldn't be as big of an issue. And it's just really weird to sort of, as I said, to recontextualise things, but so good as well, because I'm finding myself being a lot freer, that if I do certain things now, I'm more comfortable with it, and it's just so interesting. I just wish I could shake the ADHD thing of having these ideas that I want to start that are really good but never get around to actually starting them.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. But, we can't do everything, can we? We'll do certain select stuff, and we just have to be happy with that, I guess. And it's really good that you've...
But you can't tell that. You can't say that to an ADHD person, because an ADHD person goes, well, I can do it all.
Yeah, I guess so.
If this takes me half an hour and this takes me half an hour and there's an hour in the day, I could do both, forgetting about eating, drinking, toilet breaks, sleeping, etc. You kind of go, I could do all of this, it's fine.
Yep. I think we all fall into that trap now and again, I think, as well. But yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd be nice if it was only now and again though.
Yeah.
For some of us. But yeah, no, it's really good. I blame TikTok.
Yeah, it's great. I really like it. It's one of those things that stealth, came into your life. It started off as this stupid thing just for kids, and then it became like a stupid thing that was just dirty stuff. And now it's like, it's the home of like the marginalised and the dispossessed kind of thing. They've taken it over.
There's dirty stuff.
No.
There's dirty stuff on TikTok.
No, not at all. No. Don't do it. Don't do it, Bradley.
Is it not like Tumblr then?
I've never been on Tumblr.
Oh, if you're not?
No.
Oh, right. So Tumblr is just shows how the smuttiness of the world helps something be a success. As we all know, DVD beat out, VHS beat out the other one, DVD beat out, or whatever it was, because of the porn industry. Whatever the porn industry went towards is what's successful.
Yeah.
And Tumblr, it went, like, originally people just doing their silly little blogs and stuff like that, and then eventually sort of like it grew and people were putting all kinds of like collections of porn and their own porn on there and stuff like that, and it got wildly successful. And then whoever owned Tumblr sold out and sold it to someone else who went, right, let's get rid of all the smut, and then it collapsed and died and no one uses it anymore.
That'll be why then.
Yeah. Because people want their smut. They want their freedom of expression. And you know what? It's fine. There's ways of protecting kids without stopping everything. But that's another discussion for another day. TikTok's got porn on it, so I didn't know that.
Well, it's not porn, because they don't allow porn. It's just, very spicy content. Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll stick to OnlyFans.
Fair enough.
I mean, what? I don't know what an OnlyFans is.
Of course
What's
not.
an OnlyFans?
I have no idea.
I might ask the Queen.
Everyone knows what one is. I had a great story of... I can't tell it in the way it was told to me, but basically some of my extended family were at a party, and one of them was fed up with how somebody was being like hoity-toity and thinking they were, above everybody else.
Yeah.
And this person went, but her daughter's a right slag and she's ugly and she does an OnlyFans and all this. Oh, it's really funny.
Oh dear. Okay, yeah. But everyone, it seems to be like everyone's got an OnlyFans now.
I think a lot of people do. Yeah.
What I love about it is it's not just meant for smut. There's loads of like non-adult stuff on OnlyFans at the same time as well. Yeah, apparently.
Well, bloody hell.
There's I believe there's people who do like crafting videos on there and stuff like that. It's like, fair enough. If you're that confident in your stuff that you can put yourself on OnlyFans doing like crochet or whatever like that in a non-sexual manner, then I say fair play to you.
Do you know what? That would actually be really handy, because there's like stuff I'm doing, like when I'm doing my electronics, it'd be really cool if I could follow along with somebody live who was better than me, and I could go, what you do with this? And they'd be like, da, da, da. That would actually be really good. But I'm not like trawling through OnlyFans. It'll probably be some like naked guy doing it, and I'd be like, yeah, no, you're all. You're
What an
all right,
excuse
buddy.
if you ever caught.
Well, yeah.
If you're ever caught, go, what are you doing on OnlyFans? Watching a fix-it video, innit?
Yeah.
He just holds the hammer with his cock.
His cock is the hammer.
Yeah. That's impressive. This podcast's going somewhere, so I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah, I think it's best we both do, really. I'm going to go off and start my OnlyFans, naked electronics. But apart from that, have a great weekend. It's going to be, a long one. Make the most of it if you're off. If you're not, do apologise, because the modern world is terrible. Get as much rest as you can. Follow us on all the socials. Join our Discord if you feel like it. And in the meantime, stay safe and stay sane.
And abolish the monarchy.
Yeah, and that.